Welcome to Bookish Babble.
This is episode 2 of our podcast, which I'm very excited about. Today, we are discussing the ACOTAR series.
Yes.
As you can see by...
I have my Sarah J. Maas verse shirt on. It's the Maas tour.
I don't have ACOTAR yet. I did buy a sweatshirt and it's coming in. I'll show you guys later.
Nice.
But this is my Throne of Glass shirt that says, "You do not yield." And we love Throne of Glass. But today...
I'm not prepared with a t-shirt.
That's okay. You're repping the Songbird merch?
Yeah,
I
she's
am.
wearing my music
Yes.
shirt.
Yes, I am.
So we love that for us.
Yes.
But
My hair's
yes,
too
I'm. Oh my gosh. We are very excited to be back for week 2. I don't know why I said week 2, episode 2, where, whatever you want to call it. I'm so cracked
You're
out.
doing
right now.
great, sweetie.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with which book was your favorite of the series? I feel like we all have the same favorite, but I don't know.
No, I don't think we do.
I don't think we do have the
We
same favorite.
don't.
No. Mine is A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Mine too.
Okay. Paige?
I'm a tie between A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings.
Well,
and Ruin.
yeah,
Okay.
those are the two best.
Okay, so why?
Okay.
Because
I personally like A Court of Wings and Ruin the best because, they're all Rhysand and Feyre are already together.
Agreed.
Love. But there's also so much action going on that I just was so enthralled. I don't know. I just loved it. But A Court of Mist and Fury is such a close, it's so close for me too because I just love the tension of them building in a relationship because fantasy and romance are my 2 favorite genres. So it's hard for me, but I feel like Court of Wings and Ruin just I don't know, it just a tiny bit more.
Yeah. See, I agree with you. I feel like Court of Thorns and Roses is the prequel.
Yeah.
Mist and Fury is them falling in love,
Yes.
and then now they're this power couple that
Yeah.
are just going on an adventure, and I love it.
Yeah.
So it's
It's just great.
I love chapter 45 and 54 and 55.
55, yeah.
But
Big fan.
I love. No, I have dyslexia.
I'm
I need to learn.
I have it too. I
She was
confuse
close.
numbers.
She was
Anyway,
close.
but I feel this is the main story is Wings and Ruin.
Yeah.
And it might be a hot take, but
I know every time I'm like, oh, I love A Court of Wings and Ruin a little bit more than Mist and Fury. People are like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that I don't love that book. I do.
Yeah.
I just love seeing the relationship grow.
yes.
It's just so great.
Yes.
A lot of people say that A Court of Mist and Fury is their favorite book of all time, not just
know.
in the series.
That's a
So that's a
That's a-
crazy
that's a
take.
big-
That is
yeah.
a crazy take.
It's a
I mean,
take, yeah.
it's great.
It is. So the reason why they're tied for first for me is because I am more of a fan of, Rhysand and Feyre, their couple dynamic, rather than all the way back to Silver and Flames with Nesta and Cassian. I
Fair.
prefer Feyre and Rhysand, but also I like slow burn romances. So that is A Court of Mist and Fury, and the reason I love A Court of Wings and Ruin is because there is no more Tamlin BS.
Tamlin
Well, I mean-
sucks.
Agreed.
In the beginning, but she's such a bad.
Also, if you
in A
have
Court of Wings
not
and
read
Ruin.
these books, you probably shouldn't
Shouldn't be
listen.
on our live. Lots of spoilers.
If you plan on reading,
if you
Yes.
plan on reading it, if not,
Plenty. This
There
is gonna
might be
nothing
some
but spoilers.
yeah, because I feel like
Oh,
we're talking about the
yeah,
books,
for real.
with those spoilers in there.
yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
No, you're all good. Those are my 2 favorites. I love Rhysand. Rhysand, I think, is my favorite Sarah J. Maas book boyfriend.
Hot take.
I know
take.
it's a hot take. I know
I
it's
mean,
a hot
a
take.
lot of
For the
people
Throne
would
of Glass
agree.
girlies, that's a real hot take.
I am a
Yeah.
Throne of Glass girly. That was the first book series I read by her. As you should. You should start with
Yes,
Throne of Glass.
I
Sorry,
agree.
Katie.
That's okay.
It's okay.
That was some shade thrown at me.
No.
It's okay. No, I feel like a lot of people start with ACOTAR. They say that
It's easier
kind
to
of
swallow is what I hear people saying.
yeah, because I mean, Throne of Glass. There's a lot of characters, but I
almost
loved
high
it.
fantasy, yeah.
The Assassin's Blade got me back into reading. And when we go into Throne of Glass series after you've read all of it, we could talk about it for hours, but I feel like this was such a good series to go into next, and I'm happy that I went into it next and I didn't read it first, because so many people are like, oh my god, I love this series, something's gonna top it, then they're like, Throne of Glass, and I'm like, yes.
Some people don't feel that way. Some
I
people
know.
really still are very like Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought that's what you were going to be like after finishing Throne of Glass. I have a feeling you're going to prefer A Court of Thorns and Roses.
And I feel like it's going to be out of like a biased love for it, because it was the first series that like got me on my book
journey.
journey.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, which is fair. And like, again, this series is freaking great. I love Sarah J. Maas. I love her writing style. I love how she writes these characters. I just think it's so great. And even Crescent City, when you get to that too, like, it's so good. She just knows how to write a book.
It's just a little long, but
it
is
is
not
long.
A wasted word in my opinion.
No, Sarah J. Maas never just puts in like random stuff. Like, it's always super important information. Go ahead. Sorry.
Huh?
Did I cut you off? I'm just so passionate about Sarah J. Maas.
No, you're good. I think I was nearing the end of my sentence. So
okay,
you're
good. Because I was like, oh my gosh.
How
Sorry.
dare you?
I'm so mean.
You're completely fine.
So I have a question. What is your biggest conspiracy theory with the book, if you have one?
For the
like
next
your
one?
hot take, just about what you've read so far, what you think is coming up, or what you think like Sarah hasn't expanded upon that you believe is like happening behind the scenes. Like,
Paige,
what is your?
You can go first, because I know you have stuff you want to say.
Shoot, I can't mention it because you haven't read Crescent City.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
Womp womp. Anyway, no, there is another one. It's not really a big conspiracy theory. I don't like delve that deep into it. I know there is this girl on TikTok who has like a Sarah J. Maas verse wall with like the red,
my
the
kinda
red
girl.
the red yarn.
Yes,
and
and
the,
Wait, why
everyone's
have I not
pictures.
seen this?
Yeah.
I'll
What?
send you her TikTok.
Please do.
I will.
I want to be your best friend. Please.
But my theory, my hope is that the next book that comes out is hopefully going to be more Asriel centered.
Fair.
Because like I don't know what's going to happen, because the first 3 books is Rhysand and Feyre's story. And then A Court of Frost and Starlight is like that little holiday special.
It's a little Christmas episode.
Yeah, it's a buffer, and
Yeah.
then after that you start going into the relationships of everybody else around them.
Right.
So then we move on to Nesta. I almost said Nestian. Nesta,
I love
Nesta
that. Their
and
ship names.
Cassian.
Their ship
Nesta
names.
and Cassian, and their relationship dynamic. But I feel like their relationship dynamic was summed up in that one book.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Meanwhile, Feyre and Rhysand took a while. They took 3 books, so I wonder if we're gonna get more of Nesta and Cassian, or if we're going to
and
get
Asriel.
Well,
And Elaine.
but Elaine is supposedly mates with.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Lucien.
But I don't care. They're gonna have that. My hot take on this is they're gonna have that love story where they define all the odds, even through the mating bond.
They do say that is possible. So, I
They
mean,
do
it's
say it's
definitely a possibility, but
Paige is all
Paige is
wound up.
sweating.
Yeah, my hand's sweating.
Because like I have a feeling that Lucian's gonna fall in love with Lucian's in love with Elaine right now because of the
they're
mating
mates.
bond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But and like the male Fae acts more on their instincts rather
Yeah.
than on like
Right.
their like romantic feelings.
Yes.
I feel like he might fall in love hopefully with the
Gwen.
the queen, what's her name from
the
the
human
mortal
one?
queen, the human queen, the one who turns into a firebird.
Oh.
Because he's hanging out with his little like
That's
powwow
crazy.
over there.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. How Katie, you were saying that like they talked about it and then out of nowhere it just kind of wasn't
cuts
talked
off.
about anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll kind of delve back in, like she'll delve back into like that storyline and kind of what
Yeah.
happened, because again we don't really know. Because we were talking about, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that was like a thing.
Yeah.
Not like forgot it was a thing, but like
yeah, no, I wasn't shocked because of that. I was thinking, like, have you ever heard the conspiracy theory about this where they believe, I think it was Tamlin or somebody involved with the cauldron crafted a fake mating bond between Lucien and Elaine.
What?
And they think that in the next book it'll possibly break, and that her and Asriel actually might fall
Okay,
in love.
this is
And, like,
actually
wait,
the
you've
craziest.
never heard of
No,
and
this is
it
crazy.
makes sense. It makes sense because like there's that whole moment where Nesta and Elaine are thrown into the cauldron, and it feels like there's so many other things going on, and then Lucian's like, and that's my mate, and like nobody, and like we're like nobody cares right
They were
now.
like, no one asked
nobody
you.
asked you what
Oh,
you're
well,
picking
guys,
right
the
now.
tea is
So
hot.
like,
The surreal.
so like that makes sense. Like it makes sense that him and Tamlin, like I want to say I love Lucien, but he did kind of conspire with Tamlin on, you know, how to get Feyre back.
Well, he felt obligated
And
to.
he did, because that's his friend, and he's loyal to his friend, and he's loyal to his court. But I could totally see that like Lucian's like, what's in it for me? And Tamlin's like, well, if the cauldron can make them Fae, like I don't see why the cauldron can create a bond.
That's insane.
The conspiracy theory is that it's possibly like a fake mating bond.
I love that. I love that.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
It's not mine. Do not put credit on me.
No,
I
I
don't
know.
remember where I heard it. I'm sorry, but
No, but like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
well, I hope I didn't just get y'all's hopes up for nothing.
No, but that's just
Nothing.
just a hot take.
It
It's
is
just
a hot.
conspiracy theories.
Well, honestly, at this point, I'm hoping it's true.
yeah, that'd be
because
crazy.
That would
Listen,
be a twist.
What if the next book is about Asriel coping with how to let Elaine go and truly embrace her bond with Lucien?
or that. That
Oh
would
my
be good too.
gosh.
I'm just
But, like,
spitting all the fire.
I know there's so many things that like could really happen in this next book, and knowing Sarah J. Maas, it's just gonna be like, oh, that was crazy. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I love about her stuff.
Yeah, but
So
it
good.
doesn't feel like it's too far out of left field.
No,
Like there was clues dropped along the whole way.
yeah,
Like
100%.
I just read a book that was called The Sword Defiant, which is totally like a sidetracking for a second. It was a
That's
great
okay.
book, but it was fantasy, and it was like, we're going on this quest, and then out of nowhere it was like, and here's a new villain. Like, no, we don't even know who this
just
guy is.
dropping him in.
He wasn't hinted at. He wasn't like even kind of like a background character that
Right.
came into the light. Like it was out of nowhere, and this guy is now a threat, and we're like, who is this person?
right.
Sarah J. Maas. There's hints the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There's little things dropped in there.
You feel like she'll drop enough like what's the word? Hints, Easter eggs, whatever, to like make you start distrusting this person.
Right.
yes,
Or she'll make you fall in love with somebody and
tear them
then-
away from you.
and then
Literally.
make them a absolute horrible man, and then with the whole internet nicknames him Tampon.
Love
Yeah.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
now. Do you know I am now so scarred from that? Even though I kind of knew that he was gonna like become hated and I wasn't gonna like him.
Right.
I now, anytime there isn't a love interest in a book,
You're
I'm
scared.
like,
I'm so
this.
scared.
They
I have
nope, this isn't the
trauma.
final. This isn't the final
I
form.
have
Like,
trauma.
like legitimately, when
It's
I was
crazy.
reading, like now when I read Powerless, I'm like, if she rips Kai away from me
I
and
know.
puts in you know who,
I know.
and that's the end game,
I know.
I will riot.
You'll
I'll get there one
You'll
day.
get
Well.
there. It's okay. We started again. We've been doing it. Reading longer than you. Can I
That
speak?
is true.
I've been
only
reading.
been reading.
Well, you've been reading
for
the
like
longest.
3 months.
Yeah, you've been reading the longest.
Yeah.
So
It's not a competition.
it is not. You've just have more books under your belt,
Yeah.
as they say,
So I
or
have
I say.
2 hot takes, and I'm gonna leave
Yes.
one for a different conversation because I feel like that's a whole other rabbit trail we can get into. It's about more. It's about more.
Oh boy.
But I saw this one floating around the other day on the internet, and I want to pull it up on my phone so I don't like say it wrong.
I think I know what you're talking about already.
But that the courts represent, each High Lord represents a different 7 deadly sins.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let me pull up the list of the 7 deadly
Wait.
sins,
That's
and then we
actually
can dissect
crazy.
it.
What the hell is
Like-
Rhysand?
He would be
If he's-
pride.
He be what?
Pride.
Cassian, even though he's not a High Lord,
Yeah.
lust.
Yeah, hold on.
I just got chills when you said that about
That
Rhysand.
Is hold on. 7. And it would be pride because he has a false prideful identity
Yeah.
with the Court of Nightmares.
Yes.
He's very like protective and predatorial. Is that the
Yes.
word?
So, Rhysand being pride,
He's a king.
and he is also the most powerful out of all of the High Lords, which
True.
pride, like in the 7 deadly sins, like
Right.
story, I guess, it's
Yeah.
that pride is the most powerful
100%.
one.
Figures.
So
It does.
Yeah.
Helion being lust,
Yeah.
because doesn't he have like a relationship with
Everybody. That dude sleeps around.
That's
so Helion is
insane.
lust. Is it Helion? Is it Helion?
Helion?
Helion? Helion?
I
That would
see.
make more sense because like
Helion, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know. Leave a
Helion?
comment below how you guys say it.
Yeah.
In
How are we gonna get it through reading it if we can't? Never mind.
Anyway.
well,
Tarquin-
some people like you could say like how you would say
Phonetically.
yeah,
phonetically,
that's what I'm
yes.
saying to like them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tarquin is gluttony because he hoarded all of the treasures.
Oh dang.
He did.
This is
hoard-
crazy as heck.
I know. I know.
She might have just taken like inspiration from this,
Um,
but still, that's crazy.
That
So
is so crazy.
Baryon, Autumn Court,
Oh, I called him
Baron?
Baron.
Yeah, Baron.
He's envy because he wants more power.
Oof.
And
Hated him.
Callius is sloth because he kind of didn't really do much.
Is
And
Callius the
and
Winter Court?
he was Winter Court, and like he was
He
the
was
one
just
where his
there.
wife was like kind of complaining a little bit, like my husband isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe.
He kind
Yeah.
of just lays there.
He was kind of lazy in the whole situation. And our favorite is that leaving Tim Tam for last.
What do you mean favorite? Speak for
Our
yourself.
favorite, like sarcasm.
Yeah.
Favorite little tampon.
We've
He
s-
would be Wrath.
We switched up our mics
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Did. That's
Do you want
right.
Do you want your mic back?
a little bit.
Okay.
Only because I sing into this mic.
So there's like your spit. Is
Yeah, so I don't want you to be like
So
grossed out.
Ta-
No, I know. I don't care.
Tamlin?
I just didn't want you to be like, oh,
you're
that's your.
Smells
breath.
like sky.
Like,
smells like pesto.
so I almost turned it off. I was like, this mic doesn't have a
Yeah.
button, or whatever.
But Tamlin is Wrath
Oh yeah.
because he's so
Oh, yeah.
vengeful, wants revenge.
Yeah.
Literally goes to great lengths to literally be Wrath.
And it drives me crazy too because with the whole Tamlin thing, he says he loves her and then locks her away, and then he's just a jerk to her. But he does not that he redeems himself, but he has like a little bit of like a good moment when he helps
Yes.
save
Yes.
Rhysand at the end.
So
Because without him, he'd be dead. I'm not saying
Wait,
he's redeemed.
wait,
I'm
wait.
just saying that's the only good thing he ever did for her was save someone
I
else.
agree. Well, so when I read that, I cried. Okay, not because I like Tamlin, but because
No, we hate
I like.
Tamlin.
Okay, so I don't want to get too deep into this, but like
Don't like him.
that we don't like him. We're just
Oh, no,
starting with
I-
we don't like him.
Something clicked in my brain that I'll.
People who
Okay, I was gonna say.
we're gonna call him what he is. He like abused Feyre, and it was an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
whatever degree you want to say it was,
toxic.
he was very toxic, and that might be his only way. I'm not validating his actions, but it might have been his way of forcefully showing his affection because he didn't know how to process it. But he didn't know how to process it. And so, and as toxic it is as it is, you do get to see that he actually does love Feyre to some degree
Yeah.
because he's able to put aside himself at the end
Right.
to just see her truly happy.
Right.
Because that at the end of the day, that's probably what he
Some
wants.
people in real life are like that, where they
Yeah.
are just the controlling one in the relationship, and sometimes it's
And we're not
too much.
justifying Tamlin's actions. He was
Oh,
a bad,
no.
bad person.
But it happens.
He's a bad man.
Not justifying it, but the reason my brain went like that, and I had my whole jaw drop moment,
Yeah.
is because I've been talking about what I think the next book could be. Imagine
Oh
If
no.
the
I
next
swear to God, I know
book-
what you're going to say.
if the next book was just Tamlin's redemption
No.
arc.
No, I thought you
No.
were going to say Tamlin falling in love with Elaine, that they're mates.
No.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I don't think anyone would like the next book if it was his redemption arc. I don't think there's any
It would
coming
defeat
back.
the whole purpose.
Yeah, I don't think
of
there's
him being
any coming
No,
back.
I know.
from-
Terrible person.
Yeah, there's no coming back from.
I'm surprised we didn't think he was a terrible person from the beginning when he was sending his soldiers to die to get this bitch back
No,
to
literally.
Prythian.
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh, so you had to have someone die so that you can take me here." Like,
Thanks, bud.
red
And
flag.
then, and then Tamlin's like, but you just don't know how the Fae work, Feyre.
Right.
Silly little
And he's like,
human.
Dude, the fact that her name is Feyre in a
So
book about Fae.
ironic.
Wow. I love Sarah J. Maas, but oh my god. That, yeah. Because, like, imagine if it was a redemption arc for him, that the one
No.
no one wanted.
Nobody nobody wants to read about Tamlin ever again, or
Well, he'll show up, I'm sure.
he will, but nobody wants to read that he's being redeemed because he just doesn't deserve it. So mean. I just don't like him.
This might be a little hot take. It is a theory. It is not a fact. But I'm gonna try to predict something.
Okay, pop off.
I wonder if one of the next coming books, I don't know how many are left, but if one of the next coming books, for some reason, Tamlin dies, and possibly Lucian becomes the
Spring Court.
High Lord of the Spring Court.
That would be crazy.
I don't know if it's possible because he was born in the Autumn Court.
But they also he also is kind of running his own little misfit court right now.
The
Lucian.
Island of Misfit Toys.
Literally.
That'd
Maybe
be
they
kind
can
of crazy.
be rehomed there. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
That's kind of
Spring
a crazy hot take. I don't think she would kill him, but I don't know. Again, we don't know. Sarah J. Maas
I'm saying
is
maybe
just
he'll have like a final moment of like self-sacrifice where he truly does save somebody from something.
right.
And he dies because
That would be
no one
crazy.
wants to give their little droplet to save him.
Oh my gosh.
He don't deserve it.
Womp womp.
Oh, now, yeah, you feel bad, but like, I don't know. Maybe the Spring Court, if he does die, what happens when a High Lord dies? I know it like succeeds, but if he has no successors, if he dies, does the Spring Court kind of just dissolve?
I don't know. Either that or just somebody's just kind of like,
Where would
well,
the
here I
power
come.
go? Where would because obviously they have significant,
Right.
higher power.
Yeah.
Would it just get bestowed onto whoever is chosen?
I don't know.
Maybe it would like shift around to somebody else that would now become like, because there is a certain amount of power that comes with it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I don't know. That's actually really interesting. I would love.
You're
We
welcome.
would love if you guys would leave comments below, like what you guys think on that, because that's a crazy hot take.
Or any of our hot takes.
Yeah, I'm just so curious. Like
theories.
Yeah.
theories.
Do you have a hot take?
I don't
She
know.
loves Tamlin.
Yeah.
Or conspiracy theory?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, there's so many. I don't know. I feel like I'm on the spot now. You guys had really good ones, and I'm
You
like,
put me on the spot.
yeah, but you had a good one. Now I'm thinking, like, do I have like?
Is there anything you would like to see happen in the next book?
I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more of Rhysand. But I know we had 3 books of him, but I just love him and I want more.
He kind of got sidelined because he was no longer the main character of the story. It shifted to Nesta's perspective.
Yeah.
Think about this. I'm just obsessed with Throne of Glass. What if for some reason they cross paths?
Who?
Throne of Glass characters, and because
Theoretically.
I can't say something that I wanted to say.
Please do not.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Never mind.
I haven't finished reading Throne of Glass.
Yeah, she's doing the
So,
tandem
doing
read
the tandem
right now.
between Tower of Dawn and Queen of Shadow, right? Queen of Shadow?
Yeah.
Yes. No,
No.
Empire Storms. Empire
I was like,
Storms.
wait,
I was
what are
like,
you
wait a
talking
minute,
about?
I read that one.
Yeah, you're right. Queen of Shadows in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's, I don't know. Like, what if eventually, like, they, like, actually, like, were interacting or something?
But I kind of agree with that theory because even though I haven't finished reading it and I don't know what happens, I feel like there are some elements that would cross over. The whole there's multiverses and
Right.
word keys and portals and dimensions and all of that, and we obviously know that
Relax,
Amryn
Paige.
comes. Calm down, calm down. But Amryn, we know Amryn comes from a different realm.
Right.
That realm could be the same place
Right.
where
Even if we don't see Throne of Glass,
Oh my
like,
God.
characters, if we see other, like you're saying, other realms.
So many things are connecting in my brain.
yes.
Because I just went to one book after another. I can't talk about this completely. But what if Amryn... Never mind, because you haven't read Crescent City. But, okay, wait.
I tried to think of where you're going with that, but we'll go back to that, because...
I forget their names. Anyway.
Anyway.
Sorry. No.
I just want
the
Throne
reason
of
my
Glass
the
characters everywhere.
The reason my eyes popped was because I was like, so we call it the Maasverse.
Yes.
Yes.
What if all the characters in all these books do unite with the common cause of fighting the biggest bad yet?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like what if everybody
like a whole,
just like
Infinity War moment?
Yeah, like
I think that'd be sick.
That'd be amazing.
like Mass verse assemble.
The
I-
Bat Boys get Rowan like a third Bat Boy or fourth Bat Boy.
Bird boy.
Bird boy.
Bird brain.
Bird
we
boy.
could do a whole episode on Rowan, guys. I just love him.
Maybe you could.
Yeah.
I didn't connect with him as much as you did.
She loves Rowan.
I love Rowan.
She loves Rowan.
No, I know you
I'm
love
wearing
Yeah.
my Rowan pants.
No, I don't love Rowan. She loves Rowan.
No, I
Yes.
I love
I was
Rowan.
addressing
Yeah.
Skylar,
You're
but
wearing your Rowan
I
pants.
am wearing my Rowan pants.
It says Rowan on her pants, and there is a
College.
bird,
Bird
on
on
her
it.
pants.
Yep.
Look at that.
it is not official Throne of Glass merch.
It is not.
No,
That's where we went
it's
to
our-
school.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
And
where
then
we
I
went to
dropped out.
college.
Then I dropped out. Love that for me.
Anyway.
Sorry.
I'm a full-time singer, guys. It's fine.
You make more than me.
Slay. Anyway, Katie, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, do you want to talk about more?
Go
I know
for
we
it. What do you want
briefly
to
Oh,
talked
say?
right.
about
Did
that
you finish
this
your thing
morning.
about more?
No, but I said we'll save it for later.
Oh,
And
okay.
this is
All
later.
right. Why
This
don't
is
you?
later.
This is later.
Why don't you bring her up?
I think she's a villain.
Yeah, a lot of people think that she's going to betray them and be a traitor, and I'm
Yeah.
not ready for
I'm not
I've
ready
seen
for
a
it.
lot of theories online, like
of
she's
why.
wearing red.
Yes.
And that's like a big thing.
And it's and
I
there's-
know.
But
I
there's
know.
there's like that thing where it's like the rule of 3, and there was something about
Bad things come in threes?
no, but that Sarah J. Maas writes in 3s that if something's repeated 3 times, that it is like
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
What was repeated 3 times?
There was like a couple different aspects in throughout the ACOTAR series where she wrote things in 3s and dropped it in hints of 3, and then it came true.
Huh.
And there was something about it was more, and every time we read about more, immediately following the events of more, it went to like destruction and like disaster happening elsewhere in the book. And she was not present for a single battle.
That is true.
She wasn't?
No, she wasn't present on the attack of Valaris.
I
She
don't
wasn't.
remember any of this.
She was not present. She was just off somewhere, we don't know where. And every single time there was a
right.
battle, after the battle and the smoke cleared, she shows up again. It always cuts to after battle. It cuts to more like showing up, being like, "Hey guys,
Imagine the whole Massverse reunites to
defeat
fight more.
What if
fight
she-
the Morrigan."
The Demogorgon.
Stop. That's crazy.
She's like a Vogue queen. Stop.
I'm going home.
You are.
I'm going home. No, stop.
Amryn.
And I think Amryn
Could
was
she have
been
been
a Vogue queen.
Vogue?
Yes, that's
Or-
where I was going with this.
Or
Mic drop.
the creatures from Crescent City.
Could be, but we know
Talking
that
about-
she came as a creature from another realm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hmm.
Wow.
Skylar is shook, guys.
I'm kind of speechless right now. Okay, so
Cool.
we're gonna do something crazy. Oh,
Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
that was
That's
that was
aggressive.
I forgot
That
to move
pretty
the mic.
aggressive.
that was crazy. Anyway, we're gonna do something crazy, and we are going to say who we think would be each Archeron sister.
I think
'Cause-
we're all gonna end up agreeing.
I know, because we've kind of talked about it before, but I think it's just so funny that we are each of each of them.
Yes,
So, Paige. Who's Paige?
Feyre.
Beautiful.
I am the illiterate 19-year-old girl
That
who
likes
beat
arts
the
and crafts.
that likes arts and crafts
That likes arts and
and
crafts.
beat the. I almost said the Targaryen worm. The what?
The
S.
Midgard.
The
worm?
Midgard.
Yes.
That was close enough. Oof.
Which
Feyre.
sidetrack note really quick. I love to picture that Feyre is really bad at painting and
terrible
nobody wants to
artist.
tell her that.
I see that theory
That's like-
everywhere that she's actually like a terrible painter, and I'm like, as funny as that would be, I feel like it would only really be funny if it was in a movie,
Yeah, because you
Yes.
could see
because
it.
you could see
Yeah.
how
I could see how bad it is.
But I feel like it really does come down to like, life has already dealt her such a crap hand.
Right.
that-
Give her something.
Give her something that she's good at besides
Yeah.
like hunting for her family as the youngest one.
Yeah.
But that was out of a need of survival. That wasn't out of because she's like, really like hunting and I think I'm good at it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wants to paint. I love that for her.
Yeah.
I did take advanced like paint and art
Yeah.
and like
And I
drawing
mean, you
classes.
crochet and stuff like that. Like,
Yes, I
you're.
do.
Yeah. You know.
I'll bring one of my cozy creations on next time.
Yay.
So, Katie would be
Elaine.
Elaine.
Smell the flowers.
I like plants.
You do.
She does love plants.
I'm a simple person.
You're a succulent girly.
I am.
That sounded really weird.
No. No, but I have a lot of plants. And I have
Yeah.
a garden and like all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
very like,
Positive.
yeah.
Elaine was just so positive throughout the books. She was just like, it's okay.
She seems a
Everything's
little
okay.
aloof, though.
She is a little aloof, but I'm a little aloof. It's okay.
We love you though for that. I mean, we can all be
We'll
a little
keep you
bit.
safe.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Protect our precious Katie.
Yeah.
And me, who would Skylar be?
I mean,
Nesta.
there's one left.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend there's not.
I think.
Nesta.
Nesta. Oh.
So
And not
There
that I was
is-
offended when I first heard that, because I was like, hot take, I didn't really like her
I didn't either.
because
No,
she really
same.
just pissed me off. But she really did get a lot better.
Mhm.
But at first, I was literally sending, not you Snapchats. I don't think you got to that part yet, but
No,
you.
we were ahead of you for a little bit.
Yeah, and I was like, I hate her. She's making me so mad. Get it together, sis.
Mhm.
But that's like me. I you know.
I would send you some Snapchats like that. But I say you're Nesta, not only because it's the last one, and even though Nesta is a flaming biatch,
happens.
you are not.
Thank
I would
you.
just like to say you're very positive and lovely and love being around you.
Thanks.
You have the fiery nature of Nesta.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, you can get what you want if you set your mind to it.
Yes.
You can
Guys,
become
that's
a
so nice.
Valkyrie.
You could become a Valkyrie and you can climb all 100,000 stairs, down and back up again.
Pop off.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But Nesta, oof. Oh my god. I could not stand her for the longest
Yeah,
time.
hot take on
Yeah.
that. I don't know if a lot of people are going to agree with this, but yeah, she just made me so angry. And I just hated how she was like treating everybody after everything. And I get it. She like, and she's the older sister. Like, I'm an older sister too. Like, I have triplet brothers. Like, I know what it's like to be the oldest.
Yeah.
And I get the frustrations and everything. And even with like, hot take, her dad too, going into that,
Oh,
their
I have
relationship
so
was
much to
just,
say about that.
I know, we have to really talk about that because her dad was crazy, but like, I don't know. I just feel like she definitely got better as the books went on. She became less
Likeable.
selfish. Yeah. And became, you know, who she was meant to be. And she got with Cassian, and we know a lot about what they did behind closed doors. And,
And sometimes not closed doors.
yeah,
Poor Azriel.
I know.
Eating at
Eating.
that table.
Oh,
He was just like, really, bro? Really? I'm just trying to eat my breakfast.
I know, for real.
But no, Nesta, the main problem I had with her was because she used her trauma as an excuse to treat everybody poorly.
Yeah.
And I know people in real
Yes.
life like that. And
Yes.
it's not an excuse. It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Fix your shit.
Right.
If you're still blaming things on your parents,
Right.
fix your shit.
You
You
need-
are an adult.
Right. You need to grow up.
Stop whining at the fact that I'm a fae now. I can never go back to my normal. Okay.
Right. You can't
Figure
go
it
back.
out.
I literally, the whole time I'm reading them, like, I don't see a problem here. You're telling me I'm immortal now?
I
I
know.
don't see a problem here.
I know. I think it was more because of like she was just upset for Elaine because she was
Yes,
engaged, and I
yes.
understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, girl, you're the oldest. You need to
Yeah.
get it together.
Like,
and you need to
Feyre
be there.
was acting more of like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
And
grew
even
up
before
so
they-
early because she had to provide for her.
Right.
Everybody in her
Nesta
family who was
wouldn't.
older than her.
Right.
Because everybody else would have literally crumpled and died. But she was like, no, I'm not having that. I'm going to make sure we all survive.
yeah.
Right.
She should have left them all to rot. But she didn't. Because she was like,
Yes.
it's my family.
Yes.
She
Right.
could have completely survived on her own and
100%.
done well.
Yeah.
And the events
And like,
of the books would have still happened
yes.
Yeah.
without her entire family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And like, Nesta was so stubborn. And why wasn't her stubborn energy in saving her family and saving herself?
I'm too
It's
stubborn
so
to
true.
die.
She was literally too stubborn to die. She was too stubborn to be influenced by Tamlin's magic in the first book to when that veil was put over their household.
Imagine
she was
that being too stubborn to fall for legitimate
the
like
strongest
illusion
The
magic.
strongest magic.
Like, shut up.
But yet she was
Yeah.
then too stubborn to care about like herself and her family and provide and take care of them.
Ungrateful.
Yeah, she was always just mad at Feyre for doing literally everything.
And she was mad
And
at
she
her
did the
dad.
bare minimum.
Yeah.
She did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why at first I was like, I'm Nesta? Like, oh my gosh, I know Lacey sometimes.
No,
but no, I know.
it's your
No.
spirit.
No, I know,
Yes.
I know.
The good
And
side of her, not the
who she became at the
Yeah.
end of the book.
Yeah. But yeah, Nesta, I mean, we know she had mommy and daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
We see that, but like it was kind of crazy too when her dad showed up to the battle with the Nesta boat.
Yeah.
But it's like, what did Nesta do for you?
yeah.
No offense, but like Feyre did everything that to keep you alive.
Yeah. So is that to, like, you know, make Nesta feel good? Or is that just, like, another way of their dad showing
Spiting
how
Feyre.
spiting Feyre and
Yeah.
showing them how, like, showing him how much she didn't really care.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I just think that's so insane.
No, I think it was really because like he wanted to, because they used to argue all the time. They did not get along well. Like Feyre and Elaine were kind of like just impassive to him. So
Right.
maybe I'm using the wrong word. Whatever, you know what I mean.
We got
But
you.
like when it came to Nesta, he really wanted to prove to her that like, I'm sorry that I wasn't the father you needed me to be. Here I come, like trying to save you and like prove to you that I am a worthy father.
Right.
Because he didn't need to prove anything to Feyre or Elaine. Even though he treated them all kind of equally, Nesta was the one who gave him the most shit, but like the other two were willing to like coexist with him. Meanwhile,
Right.
Nesta was like, get away from me. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You did nothing to help save
right.
my mom.
Right. Like you made
That was his wife. You think
Yeah.
he just sat and was like, oh well.
yeah.
Like, she is right. Like, he could have done something else, but he didn't.
Right.
However, like, you're in a state of shock. You don't know what to do. Like, it's very easy to sit back and look at those moments and be like, oh, you should have done this. You should have done this. I should have done that. But in the moment, your brain is not working.
Right.
You are not coming up
Yeah.
with the most, like, oh, of course, aha moment ideas. Like, you're just working with, like, half of your brain function.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to do. You feel paralyzed and
Right.
stuck.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
got deep.
Got deep, bro. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The dad, when he got, you know, killed, murked, I was kind of shocked because it's like, oh, he's back and he's trying to be better, I guess. And then it's like, oh, well, we'll never know because now he's dead.
But it was so
Yeah.
quick and we just glanced right over it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was such a big part of Nesta's trauma too, obviously. Like, she
Yeah.
always brought that up. And, like, you know, eventually Cassian, like, found out about it and was like, you know, I'm sorry, but, like, you need to
Move on.
essentially move on. Like,
Yeah.
still feel that pain. Like, that's your dad. But there's nothing you can do, unfortunately.
So, as much as I really didn't care for the dad at all, like, not once throughout the series.
LOL.
LOL. I would like to see I don't know if it'd be a prequel or like a novella or something in there
Like, what he was doing.
about about what he was doing, yes, but like
Good idea.
how Lucian found him, and because
Eh?
Lucian found him, right? Who
'Cause
came
they-
and who
they
came
met
and
at-
got him?
They met at the queen of
Yeah.
the human
And-
thing. But what's her name? Why can't we
Right?
never
I
remember her
don't
name?
The human queen.
So
Yeah, the human
unimportant.
queen. Did they even say
Yeah,
what
she
her
has a name, but I don't remember.
She
That's
does have a
so
name, but
bad.
like
Yeah.
my brain glanced over
But-
it.
I know, it's fine.
Sorry, I hit you. But like, I would love to read
That story.
how the dad processed coming to terms with, did he go home and see his house emptied without his children there?
Right.
Mhm.
Did he mourn that? How did he find out that his children were Fae? How did he
Mhm.
process that?
Yeah.
For like coming from a village where the Fae were hated, I would love to know how he processed that. And then, because there was months
Right.
of him
right.
going, trying to find his family again. It wasn't just like, oh, my daughters are Fae and I gotta go save the day now and ride these 3 ships. And he had to find ships. He had to probably
Yeah.
build ships. I would love to know his like mental journey of coming to terms that his daughters are alive and they were Fae and that, you know, they're fighting a battle for the entire of Prythian.
That's such a cool idea. It really is, because we just did again, and it can go into like the human queen too.
Yes.
Like we don't know much about all of that unless that's coming up in this next book, but
yeah.
that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that when it comes to like writing and publishing books like this, she is now 2 books and 1 novella away from that happening. Meaning like
Right.
Court of Wings and Ruin is over. She wrote the novella A Court of Frost and Starlight and then wrote the thick novel
boy.
of A Court of Silver Flames. I feel like if she was going to express that story, she would have done it in a novella by now, and that's what's kind of upsetting. But I would have loved to see a novella like his, not only his mental journey, but his physical journey of going to Prythian and finding these people and how he got roped in and how he convinced them to help him.
Building his strength back up.
Exactly. Like, I want to
Yeah.
know all of that. And then you would have actually gotten to know, that was not English, you might have actually gotten to see his thought process behind writing on the Nesta and not the Feyre or the Elaine.
Yeah.
That's so true, because like again, we don't really know much about him. It's just kind of like, all right, he was a crappy dad.
He was
and
there.
He was there and kind of and whatever, and then he leaves to go wherever, find family and all this stuff. And like then he comes to help them, and then he dies. So it's like, yeah, we don't really know much about his thought process or his journey, and it's definitely something that would be cool if she did go into. I mean, should she have done it maybe already? Maybe, or like, because we don't want that to be the next book. We want like something else. Obviously, we're hoping for either Elaine, Asriel, something, but that would be a cool novella to put in between. Maybe like like next book comes out, maybe that novella, and then something else. I mean,
Yeah, before you leave.
before you leave all this, like,
Well, you know what? Maybe, because now it seems like Nesta's story was wrapped up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
The only loose ends that we really have are
Is if
Lucian,
she'll have
Asriel,
children.
Elaine. Huh?
Is if she'll have children. Cause
She got them wide barren hips now.
Because she
LOL.
Those
changed.
Illyrian babies.
She changed her body to
Her
birth
physique.
Illyrian
they
babies.
they all did besides Elaine, right?
Yeah.
Because they were afraid that, you know, because everything that happened, like,
Feyre almost died.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was crazy. She
Clarify,
technically kind
she
of
did die.
I was gonna say she
died.
did.
She
And Nesta was too stubborn to let her die.
Yeah.
Literally.
She would be the one that could wear the death mask.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You hear that, Skylar? You wear a death mask.
Thank y'all. Yeah, that whole thing was crazy too, with like
Yeah.
realizing, and then she made those
Weapons.
weapons.
That is crazy to
I
me.
loved that.
Me too.
I know. I
Katie,
know. what-
you need to read.
I know there was something you wanted to say, and I'm like, so good. But
Sorry. I had a completely different question that would sidetrack us.
no, sidetrack us. We're good.
Pause.
Pause.
Breath.
Take a breath.
So coming off of that, what is your least favorite book? Doesn't mean you don't like it, but what is your least favorite book in the ACOTAR series as it stands right now?
Frick. I feel like when we were talking about in the last episode, our first episode that we did, we were talking about our least favorite books of the year so far. And at first, I said A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then I changed it, whatever. But go watch episode 1 if you want to know what it is. Anyway, sorry, I'm so cringy. I guess, but I don't know. Like, I do love that book. I feel like A Court of Thorns and Roses is so different from the rest,
Yeah.
because it's the Tamlin story that nobody wants, okay? But we needed it, and they go under the mountain, which is great because that's how she again meets Rhysand and everything. So it's
No, she didn't. She met him at Calamai.
Calamonte or whatever.
Calamonte.
Yeah.
The
Well,
sex party.
Calamari.
well, yeah,
Calamari.
Calamari.
Squid.
Well, yeah, she did meet him there, but again,
There you
like
are.
under the mountain
Yeah.
was like really when they started talking, and he saved her from almost dying that first day and everything.
He saved her from dying like 95%
Well,
up under the mountain.
Yeah,
Him hinting at her. She can't read.
like, oh, gotta save her now.
Not that one.
But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of between those two. They're my least
Alright.
favorite because, again, I loved the little novella, especially at the end when, like, she was like, I want to have kids with you. And, like,
Yeah.
she realized that, like,
Yeah.
I just felt like that took their relationship to a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, again, she does get pregnant and, you know, dies and comes back to life from it and everything. Spoiler. But I don't know. I just have a really big soft spot for that book. So I feel like if I had to rank it, I would say A Court of Thorns and Roses, just because it's just like the beginning of it. And, you know, it was more about like the Tamlin stuff, and we didn't really know much about the world yet. And then going into it, it's like the rest of the story is just, it just keeps going up. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I would want to say A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I don't want to hate on it,
right,
because of what I now know.
100%.
So when I was
love
reading it, I was like, this is great. But now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, he had a lot of red flags. He was really toxic. But that...
The cover of the first book is a red flag.
That is true.
It's red.
True.
Yes.
It is red.
But
See the
I
color red.
only want to hate it because now I know about Tampon's true nature.
Right. And you read
But
the
you
rest
didn't
of
know
the
it at the
series. And
time.
it's
But you
great.
didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
And
That's the book that you
That's-
first started reading.
Yes. So I want to say it's Frost and Starlight,
Mm-hmm.
just because I wasn't ready for it to be so cutesy, which I loved. I do want to say I loved it, but I kind of dragged my feet through reading it just a little bit, just because I was like, okay, it's the Christmas episode. I know nothing crazy is going to happen. It's a novella. I know nothing drastic is going to happen, that if I skipped it, I would still be okay.
Yeah.
Because
So that's what a novella is. It's
Yes.
not it's not like, yes, you have to read it. Novellas come out for the readers that want to get a little bit more out of the main
Right.
storyline.
Yeah. Like, you don't need to read it. Like, there are people that are like, I'm just going to skip it for now. But I don't know. I'm somebody that likes to know everything. Yeah. I just... Yeah, novellas, I really do appreciate them, as little of a book as they are. Even with, like, Powerful. Like, I love that novella, and I don't want to say much about it because you haven't read it yet. But there's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't really care about this character, so I'm not going to read it. But it's like, yeah, but if you like the series, I think it's so important to see that other perspective
It
of
adds
things.
to
And
it.
100%.
It enhances the story, and you get introduced to a new character.
100%. I love that. Okay, Paige, what is your least favorite book of the ACOTAR series after hearing... Do you agree with us?
So I do agree with you on a
Okay.
lot of points.
Fair.
My least favorite book in this entire series is the first one, A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Fair.
And the only reason I continued it is for two reasons. One, Sarah J. Maas wrote it.
Facts.
B, I was buddy reading it with you.
Wait, you said one and then you said B.
Yeah. Illiterate.
Illiterate. Sorry, I just was like, wait. Anyway, I love you. Continue.
Fuck
Don't
my
hate me.
life.
Don't hate me.
I'm gonna redo that. No, I'm kidding. It's authentic. Anyway, the first one is the one that I had the most trouble with because, like, I just couldn't get into it in the beginning. Like, I was like, great, she's hunting. Oh, she found a rabbit. Oh, there's a wolf. Oh, it might be a fae? Okay.
It's definitely not a fae.
Definitely not a fae. And then she finally goes into Prythian and she's in this castle, and I'm like, okay, we're in this castle. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, it really...
It's a little slow.
Yeah. It screamed Beauty and the Beast retelling to me.
Ooh, I gotta
Yes.
chill. I don't know.
And I was like, really? Is that what this is? I'm like, I'll keep reading if that's what it is. But I really was not, like, thoroughly hooked until the infamous final 100 pages. Because Sarah J. Maas loves to dump a lot of crap. Not dump a lot of crap. She loves to have these epic endings all,
Yes.
like, put into the last 100,
Agreed.
And a lot
200
of-
to 100 pages.
a lot of her like first books of a series is so like world building.
It's lore heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lore heavy.
You got to set everything up.
Right, and I like that. Not that she like repeats, but she kind of repeats in a way of like just being like, yeah, don't forget about this, and it's like, oh yeah, and then by the time you're done with the first book, like you said, the last 100 pages is like craziness that you were looking for in the book, And then the rest of the series, it's like, okay, I'm good. I know what's going on. I needed that first book. So again, like, I love the first book because what it is, but because she just writes so well, like her action and her love and like all of that is just gets better and better.
Yeah.
She slays. We love Sarah J. Maas.
Yes.
Sarah J. Maas. Sorry, I love her.
But yeah, it was too slow.
So sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
The last 100 pages, they were great.
Yeah.
There were finally stakes.
Yes.
So that's when I finally got hooked, and I'm like, okay, I'll continue.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Can I say something crazy?
Mhm.
So this is really funny, and it's totally derailing right now.
Oh gosh.
But my grandmother is reading A Court of Thorns and Roses.
She is.
Oh.
And I love this because she comes to my room and she's like, Katie, I love Tamlin. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a
No.
canon event, and I cannot interfere with the canon event.
Well, at
And
least
she's
she's not
like-
getting a tattoo like that one girl was.
I've never even seen it. I just
haven't either.
know it apparently happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're falling in love. And, like, they can't stand each other, but they're going to fall in love. And I'm like, oh, you are not
sweetie.
ready. You are not ready. And the best part is she's like, and who's this Rhysand guy? I don't like him.
You will.
I love him.
And I'm like, just please keep reading. Because I have a feeling that she's going to get to the end of the book, or she's going to get to the beginning of Mist and Fury and then drop it and be like, no. Because she's going to be such a diehard Tamlin stan. Because, like, she loves Tamlin.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh no.
This is
sweetie.
I mean, I feel like a lot of
okay.
people went through that. Okay, so I think why it wasn't very hard for me to like drop Tamlin and be like, oh yes, Rhysand, is because that is the one part that kind of got spoiled for me online.
Yeah, same.
Oh, interesting.
So like I knew people were calling him Tampon. I knew I was going
But
to
we didn't know
eventually
why.
hate him. We didn't know why, but we
Yeah.
knew we were eventually supposed to hate him. So I was already like
Had the pre-notion.
from the get-go. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
feel like I really didn't feel that like utter shock
Yeah.
when he went from being like man of her dreams, she sacrificed everything for him, to lock you in my tower, you're not allowed outside, you're my
Mhm.
precious little thing. Like
Yeah.
I never really had that like moment of like he's changed. I was like, I always knew it was going in this direction. So
yeah.
that's kind of unfortunate, but so I can't say anything when it's like, how dare you, because I already knew going in. But
right.
I wish I kind of experienced that moment of like utter
Same.
like heartbreak and betrayal. But I'm still traumatized for every other book I read, where now I'm just like, is this another Tamlin situation?
know,
Am I going to
but-
fall in love with this guy and then he's a jerk? It did happen in a recent book of mine.
Yeah,
I
but
was
even
ready.
like reading it at first, I was like, I know I'm not gonna like you eventually. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
all of
and
us
it,
are
like,
always
he just
like, I
gives
wonder
us
what
the
could be so
ick.
bad.
Right. I was
He just
like,
gives us the ick.
but then he was like doing
He's
weird
blonde.
things, and I was like, yeah. And he was like doing like weird things. I was like, okay, like I can kind of see what's going on here, but I really didn't know what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
And I've always just kind of liked the bad boy, and like I feel like whenever I read the book, I'm like, yes, I love that.
That's
So I
interesting.
feel like even if I didn't know what would happen,
Mhm.
the fact that like Rhysand just like kind of like
appeared.
I would have been like, I want to know more about him.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna like this guy. I don't know why. I've just always been like that. Like if I've like read a book and I'm like, that guy's mysterious and I need to know more about him.
Yeah.
You definitely, side note, you definitely preferred Zach over Cody in Zach and Cody, like Sweet Life of Zach and
Yes.
Cody. Of course you did.
Yes.
I was a Cody girl. I love the nerds, the dorks, the ones that normally are like, ew, like the people who get bullied. I feel bad for them. But like, I get the appeal for the bad. Don't get me wrong. Rhysand, honey, give it
that
to
one
me.
fan art, I know you know what I'm talking about when he's
We all-
smiling.
Yes.
I love that.
He looks familiar though in that picture.
Yeah, because I mean it's got to be
Based
like,
off of somebody?
Yeah,
I know, but like,
because our
Ooh.
brains, we can't come up with like random faces that we've never seen before.
yeah.
It's like
so if
fun
you
fact,
see a face in your dream, it's somebody you've seen
Yeah.
before.
which is weird.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But back on track.
Rhysand.
Rhysand.
We love
Rhysand. Oh my god! In the very beginning, you would Snapchat me and you'd be like, Rhysand.
Rhysand.
You
The
still
surreal.
even though you were listening to the audiobook, you still went Rhysand.
No, at the time that I was first sending you Snapchats about him, I wasn't listening to the audiobook. I didn't listen to the audiobook until I got to the last book.
Until I was listening to
Oh,
audiobook.
that's right.
And I
Yeah.
surpassed you at one point
Yeah.
on Mist and Fury, and you started sweating, and you're like, I need to get the audiobook right now.
Yeah, I really didn't start listening to the audiobook like until later into the books
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I didn't really like want to, I guess, because I was like, I just
you were
want to
stubborn,
read.
yeah.
But now that I'm
She's
just so
just
much
too stubborn to stop.
I'm too stubborn to stop.
I'm glad you picked up on it. Songbird out now.
Yes,
Stubborn.
stubborn.
Go
By
on
me.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Me blinking instead of winking.
Double blink.
but so that's why I messed up the name, and that's when I'd be like, what's his name again, Paige? Like
Rhys.
Rhys. It's fine, but
You still do that. You're just like, how do I pronounce this person's name? And I'm
I
like, it's this,
know.
babe.
I
You're
know.
good.
I don't know. I love his character, and I knew I was gonna love his character. Like I said, I just love like the mysterious, like what's going on. But like literally, the person I'm marrying is was kind of like that bad boy vibe, but he's also very nerdy.
She got Zach and Cody.
I did.
Shoot. That's
Dang.
funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
changing directions if I'm allowed to.
You're not.
I'm not allowed to.
You're
I'll
not
just-
allowed.
I'll just stop talking.
No, go for it.
If you don't be try not to be biased. If you could be from any of the 7 courts, which court would you be from and why?
I'd probably, not gonna lie, I have the answer that I have 2 answers.
Okay.
Y'all know me. I don't like the heat.
Y'all,
I'm
you right.
probably from the winter court.
Okay.
Fair.
Fair.
But every time I make a new friend, they will always come back to me a little while into our friendship and be like, either I thought you hated me, I thought you were a bitch, I didn't like you. So I'm like, I'm probably from the night court because everyone thinks I'm an asshole. Sorry for cursing, but like those are the words people have told me.
But you're also a little arts
Fair.
and crafts girly.
Yeah.
So you would be on like the rainbow strip with your little
Yeah.
arts and crafts booth.
You're right. I would have my little
Yes.
crochet hut.
Aw.
Yes.
What about you, Katie? I'm curious where you would
I
want to
was
be from.
gonna say
Obviously, we all want to be in the night court
Because
because
Valaris is gorgeous.
right, and Rhysand's
Like
there.
we should all take a trip to Sweden to go see like was it Sweden where the real night court
I
is?
mean, like, say less.
I
but
just
yeah,
want to see the
like-
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah,
like,
but could you imagine
ugh.
the Aurora Borealis like
It's-
over? I don't know my geography, but if it came over where like the inspiration where
mountain.
Valaris came
Yeah.
from,
How do we feel
I
about
would
getting
die.
matching Valaris tattoos
I'd be down.
with the mountain with the 3 stars?
That'd be so slay.
But I would
as
have
long as
to
I don't
wait till
pass
all
out.
of the books are done. You know,
Yeah, we gotta wait.
because
Yeah.
like what
We
if
don't-
something
we don't
crazy
need a
happens?
Tamlin
Like the
situation.
mountains
The mountain
explode.
It's just a gaping hole in the ground.
Yes.
Dead. Okay, so where?
Where would I be from?
Yeah, not based on like the people there, just like
The culture and the vibe.
The human world.
The culture. Like
Yeah.
what? Because like obviously Valaris is like artsy.
because
and,
obviously
like,
we all
whatever.
want to like.
We
I said,
all want to
in
be from the night court. I would want to say Dawn Court, and I feel like we don't know much.
We
Okay,
don't.
I
I
haven't
love that.
read
No, I love
Crescent
that.
City because that takes place in the Dawn Court, right? If
Huh?
I'm not mistaken, or no?
Mm-mm.
Someone told me it took place in the Dawn Court. They lied.
Mhm.
Okay, anyway,
Uh-huh.
ignore that. We're gonna
That's
scrub that
okay.
from the video. We're gonna scrub
No,
that
but you
from
didn't know
the
that.
record.
People,
Wash it away.
people lied.
Cut this. Anyway.
No, but seriously, I think I would be from the Dawn Court. I know I don't know much about them, but
Yeah.
that
Is that where Helium's from?
yes.
Okay.
I just feel like I would love to be from there.
And you're like a
It
morning
seems
person.
so-
Very, like,
like
bright-
no, I
bright-
am
No,
not.
like you're up
like,
early
bright
a
and
lot.
sun.
For
I feel
work.
Well, yeah, for work. She wouldn't
Oh.
be up early otherwise.
Actually, what court is like the most like workaholic vibe? That would be me.
I feel like the summer court.
The summer court
Because he's so like,
or the autumn court.
yeah,
Yeah,
You do have a ton of siblings.
I do have a ton of siblings.
she
Autumn
does.
Court, like Lucian.
It's like Lucian, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Anyway,
For me,
Not the spring court ladies. Never.
no. Even though my last name's Springer, we're not picking Spring Court. My
Rename
favorite.
it the Springer Court
Yeah, right.
petition.
My favorite season is autumn. I love Autumn.
Correct.
Literally, I am naming my first daughter Autumn. I will put this right here. We're naming our first girl. If I have a girl, obviously. We both.
Son Autumn is watching this right now.
Yeah, like, yes, we already have a name for him too. It's fine. But I just love the fall. Literally, my whole For You page is Halloween
Already?
and
Yes.
pumpkin
Wow.
spice and ghost like pillows from TJ Maxx. Like, I adore the fall. I love it. Favorite season. So I feel like that's where I would be. But because I always think about that, and I'm like, obviously we don't really care for like Lucian's family. They weren't the best, at least yeah. But just like the autumn is my favorite, so that's I think where I'd be from. Yeah.
That's nice.
Thanks.
I do love fall vibes, like fall and autumn and winter. Those are my two favorite seasons.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the heat, as I stated before.
Yeah, I'm
I
like
sweat.
miserable in the summertime.
Mhm.
Like,
I literally get seasonal depression
From summer?
in the summertime. A lot of people get it from the winter. I
Yeah.
thrive in the winter.
I don't get
Mm.
seasonal depression. I just get aggressive. I feel like I'm just so
'Cause you're
mad.
always hot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, like, are you okay? Don't touch me. I'm sweating.
You're always sweating.
I'm always sweating. I have hyperhidrosis.
Me too.
So, yeah, we love that for us.
We're all similar in ailments.
Yeah, it's fine. That's
Don't
why.
we all have TMJ?
Yes.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes. And we
Very
all talk
good.
a lot. TMJ.
They say if you have TMJ, you shouldn't sing. And I was like, welp.
And they also say that
That
you shouldn't
sucks.
like do any like thing with like talking a lot or you know
So this
singing
podcast.
or
Love
you
that for
know,
us ladies and Jen.
speaking.
I
But
sing
it's
a lot
anyway.
in my car.
Yeah, me too.
What happened?
I sing a lot in my car.
Oh.
Like
I
a lot.
I don't know why. I thought you were like, I didn't lock my car. I was like, what?
That
I was confused.
Yeah.
I probably didn't, to be
Anyway.
honest.
I was thinking like what's your most like your favorite moment from the books but like also extremely underrated because
Yeah, we
everyone's
can do
gonna
that.
say chapter 55
Yeah.
and 54.
I prefer chapter 54 to 55 because
Hot take.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that is good.
What?
Which chapter do you like more, chapter
Oh.
54 or 55
That's a good
of Mist
question.
and Fury?
I am a prude and I don't like reading a lot of smut. When it has a place, I get it, but like it was done tastefully, I'd say, within the first 3 books. Once we get to A Court of Silver Flames,
She was just like, oh.
it was every other chapter.
Well, I think it's because, again, like the nature of Cassian and
And
Nesta,
Nesta.
like who
Feral.
like who they are, it
Yeah.
made
Yes.
sense for the
Yeah.
chapters
if
like that to
Feyre
be so
was doing that out of nowhere. No.
right. Like
But
it was
yeah.
never.
No, I totally get it. Like, they have a much more aggressive nature. So
Yes.
naturally, that's going to translate to
A wee bit
bedroom,
more
but, like,
aggressive.
Correct.
I prefer chapter 54 because that is him divulging everything that was going through his head under the mountain. And he
Agreed.
really got to, it's a bad choice of words, but he got to kind of like trauma dump and like truly express his
100%.
feelings.
Yeah.
And she just listened. And then at the end, she offered him soup.
I know.
Good soup. I like
Soup.
not okay
Yeah.
when I read that.
But
and-
yeah, I appreciated that chapter because obviously I knew chapter 55 was coming, but like
yeah.
it was the fan art of chapter 55. I don't go
Y'all.
searching for it. It finds me.
Yes.
Like the
didn't
amount
choose-
of paint
I didn't choose
covered
Yes.
Rhys and Feyre
Wait.
that pops up on my 40
This
page.
is such a sidetrack, but I thought of it because of the paint. You know when they're at the Starfall ball and the
Yeah.
2 stars splatter them in the face, and then they have like the
Yes.
whatever the paint on. I don't know if it's paint or if it's like
It's literally a
the
star
stars-
exploded.
Star exploded.
Sorry.
There was a theory that
Yeah.
that was Rhysand's mother and sister.
Shut
That were
up.
those 2 stars that hit them
crazy.
in the face. Kind of showing that even from like wherever they are, because they've passed away, that they like kind of approved and like ordained that match.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
That's kind of hella cute.
I know.
I kind of love that.
So that like, yeah, even though like
God, you're making me
Pharaoh
cough.
never, we're both coughing. Okay.
I've been holding it in the whole time. I keep going like, and I keep seeing my level spike. So no matter what, you're gonna hear it.
But yeah. Anyway, that they were the stars.
That's so cute, though. I love that.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm so sorry for calling it Starges.
That's amazing. But I don't know. I kind of agree. I kind of like chapter 54 too, because it like the build up and like you could just see like it's not just a physical love. Like they actually love each other.
yes.
And they connect, and it's like, you know, because they were kind of arguing a little bit because she was mad at him.
Yeah.
And
For
you know he like
it's
right
stupid
right
reason.
stupid, but she was
But
mad.
every couple fights for stupid reasons.
Right. So it was just like kind of a normal thing. Like it happens. Like people get mad at each other for stupid things, but whatever, they got over it. And like you said, he kind of trauma dumped, and she was like, "All right, I made you soup. Now eat it." And if you've never read it, it's kind of like, well, that's stupid. But like the meaning behind it is just so powerful. Like that's their way of being like, yeah,
I accept you as my mate.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that it's not just like some basic thing. Like Sarah J. Maas was like, I'm gonna make it. Like that's what the woman does. She makes something, and it's like you eat it, and that means like we're meant to be. I don't know. I think that's
She
just
offers you food.
right.
Yeah.
I just think that's really cool that
Yeah.
it was something so different from what we
Canned
usually see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love soup. Give me soup, bro. You want to make me soup? Bet. I'll sit down and eat that soup. I keep saying soup. I love soup. Where's the fall? I need more soup, guys.
But yeah, I mean, I think I love chapter 54 also because it was great and all to see like what we've been building up to for 2 books in chapter 55. But there was a moment, and I don't quote me because I don't remember what the exact wording was, but
That's
I
okay.
like went to my fiance Steve and I was crying to him over this book, and he's like, what are you crying over?
book.
It's just a book. But like that he, you know, loved her so much that he was willing to sacrifice his own feelings and say like, if it's meant to be, I'm going to trust the timing.
Yeah.
And if it is meant to be, it'll come full circle, which is very almost on the nose. My fiance and I's relationship is that there was like a struggle for a long time, and then there was a moment of, if it's meant to be, I'm gonna give it the space it needs to truly blossom a friendship first. And at their core, Feyre and Rhysand are best friends above anything else.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and
I totally agree.
despite a mating bond, they're best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. And
Ain't that
cute?
cute?
I feel like we all kind of feel that with like our partners. Like
Oh,
we're
absolutely.
like best friends first. And then, you know, like lovers second.
Yeah. I specifically resonate with Rhysand and Feyre because that is legitimately how my relationship dichotomy works and how it started.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
It's kind of
We
crazy.
all 3 of us.
it's so sad. No, because he was like watching from the sidelines
Yes.
as I was pining over somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is
And now
awful.
look at y'all.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together for over 2.5 years.
Wow.
And then Katie, you're almost 3, right? And
Yeah, and we're getting married in a month.
pop off and slay.
Yeah.
Been together 10 years.
Still
you're
not
getting
married.
No,
you're
we're
getting
married.
married.
Yeah, we are next year. I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
We've been together since we were 14, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
We were babies.
Going back to our live.
We're still
But
babies
yeah.
because I'm not old. It's fine.
But yeah, him literally being like, not my boyfriend, Rhysand. Same person. No. But Rhysand.
Welcome back, Sherry. Sherry's back.
Sherry's back.
But
Good again.
We have a live stream going on. That's what we're talking about.
But literally how Rhysand was willing to take a backseat and be like, I'm going to watch a person that I know is my mate and that I've already fallen for marry somebody else if that is what truly makes her happy.
Yeah, make me grab her.
I don't cry in books. That's another hot
Oh.
take. I never cry.
Paige, get it together.
I do have it together. I think
I
y'all have
don't.
it a little not together.
I do not. But yeah, I love Sarah J. Maas. I love her writing. I love her characters.
Her characters are amazing.
Yeah, she writes a great villain.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She writes
Great
just-
heroine.
yeah,
Yeah.
great love.
And she writes like really good diversity in her characters. Like
Yeah.
it's not. I was really nervous that Aelin was going to be really similar to Feyre. And like
They're
so different.
Yeah.
So
and
different.
even like all the love interests like Kale and Dorian and Rowan, they're all very unique. I thought it was going to be the same big strong man, you know,
Right.
the prince falling for the prince, falling for the king.
I think that's why I like the Captain of the Guard better too, because
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, you swoon for the prince, you swoon for. I'm not coming for you, but like I'm just saying that like I agree with you. Great characters, and like they are very different. They are very prominently their own people.
Yes.
She has a great voice when writing these things,
Yes.
but I find it like so funny. I had this like reaction because yes, you are right. Aelin and Feyre are so different.
so
Yes.
different.
But what
Like,
I
for
find
real.
very funny is that they're both amazing heroes, but they started in two different places.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Aelin, who is Selena, starts like the books. She is already the world's most famous assassin at 16.
Yeah.
Mhm.
16.
She slays.
And then we pop over to A Court of Thorns and Roses, and we have an illiterate 19-year-old who is dirt poor, can't do anything, has a horrible family, and defeats a Midgardian worm.
yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
Yes.
That came out of nowhere.
But even like once you get to Crescent City too, like the main character Bryce is so different as well.
Her too.
Yeah.
She's great. I think she's great, and I think she's a really good character. And I'm very excited for you to read that.
Yeah.
Because I think you're gonna really love that series.
Yes.
It's long,
mm-hmm.
and
It is very. It can be slow moving at times. So
Mhm.
when you say like I'm gonna speed through it with my 2.5 speed audiobook, I get it. I thought that too. It still took me a couple days because
it's a thick boy.
it not only that, it's just slow moving, and sometimes
Yeah.
you get a headache when you read or listen to something for too long.
Yes.
You need a break.
Yeah.
So don't be
100%.
afraid to take a break. We're not rushing you.
Yeah.
Enjoy and savor the story.
Yeah.
Watch She Hates It.
She's like, what is this garbage?
It's no. It what I didn't know I needed in that book. It's a fantasy thriller.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like so caught off guard by the story. It's nothing like what she did in the past. So I was like, this is different.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Do we know if there's any more of those books coming
Mhm.
out?
There is.
There is.
The contract was only for 3, she said. In like an interview I saw it, she said that she was contracted for 3 Crescent City books. But she was like, in the interview, she was like, but there's 4 houses.
I was gonna say because there's 4 houses.
Exactly. So there is a continuation.
Okay. Interesting.
But I don't know how many. We at least know that a 4th book is coming.
Would you rather the 4th book of that come out or the next ACOTAR?
I'm gonna abstain from the question.
I'm just curious.
Sorry.
I know she didn't read it.
pointed the mic away from myself. She
I know she didn't read it.
Crescent City yet.
I know, but I'm just curious. Like, I know you didn't read it yet, but like, would you be more like if it came out? Would you rather just read Crescent, like the Crescent City series, and then like eventually that one would come out, or do you want to?
No, I miss Prythian so
Fair.
much. No matter what book I've read since, it doesn't matter if it's Sarah J. Maas or if it's something else. I'm like, I miss Prythian.
I know. I feel like obviously there's more that can happen. We know that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also like I feel like all right, I'm satisfied with it. Like if she never continued, I mean, I'd be a little upset because again, we don't really know much about Azriel and
Yes.
Elaine and stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
There are loose ends. with characters.
Yeah,
Who's-
a
who's-
lot of
whose,
loose
so-
ends.
whose stories don't really feel like they were summed up.
Right.
Nesta's
Yes.
story was summed up.
Yes.
Right.
But the
So-
strange,
In our
the
live
strange thing
stream.
is, the strange thing is that in Crescent City, in the last book, there is no cliffhanger. It
Yeah.
literally is a summed up story. So
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like both of them are kind of like at that point where it's like, all right, well, it could go either way, but like, which one would you prefer, essentially?
Mm.
I know you haven't read it yet, so obviously you prefer to continue this. But I feel like I kind of, I don't know.
Shoot.
That's a hard question.
I can't pick.
I know that I just like asked it, but
it?
I'm like, I actually don't know.
Because I want to know more.
Because we
about-
don't, again, they both don't really end on a cliffhanger. So it's like really just another continuation
just-
of both.
Yeah.
So which one do you really want continued more
Which character?
first?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this one. I
ACOTAR?
feel like just because I feel like I connected more. But I don't know.
the thing is,
This is hard. Why did I do this to us?
ACOTAR doesn't set up anything huge
Right.
and then end. Crescent City kind of did that, but it still wasn't a cliffhanger.
Right.
It set something up, but then it ends in like a happy little bow.
And I feel like with Crescent City too, I felt like each book got better and better. So I feel like if the
That
next
is a
one-
hot take. A lot of people think
Yeah.
they downgraded.
I know I didn't really like the first one. Not that I didn't like it. It was a lot for me and it stressed me out.
I get it. It was big. It was
So
long.
I feel like if I go back and reread, I would feel differently.
Mhm.
But my first time reading it through, especially because I literally read through all of the Sarah J. Maas books and like was ending with Crescent City without reading any other author,
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a little stressful to have all this go on. And then, but I don't know. And then as I went on, I liked it more and more and more. But I think I don't know, but I also think the second book might be my favorite.
Okay.
So,
Because like once again.
sorry, random tangent.
I was like,
Yeah.
like zoning out.
Sorry.
What?
But yeah, the first.
I know,
book,
sorry.
The first book in any Sarah J. Maas series is
Right.
world building, and it's a
Yes.
huge book. It's setting up
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. It's urban fantasy.
I'm excited for that. I do know about that. I do know they have cell phones and Wi-Fi, and the toilets now make sense.
That's what it was in ACOTAR. Every time she mentioned a toilet, I was like, I
huh?
got taken out, and
These
I was
better
like,
be some magical toilets.
it's a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
That's what it better be.
Yeah.
But they were talking about toilets. I was
And
like,
she's like, and they flush, and Feyre flushed the toilet after vomiting. That's
I
a
know.
whole other tangent we can get into. Is about
For real.
how Sarah J. Maas loves to write about her vomiting and watery bowels.
Watery bowels.
Watery bowels,
and-
bros.
watery bowels.
right, that was this book, and we never mentioned it the whole episode until now.
I'm kind of proud of us
That's
because
crazy.
we literally complain about that all the time. We're like,
Sorry.
oh.
Watery bowels.
Watery bowels.
Yeah.
About guts quivering and stomachs shaking.
Yeah,
and-
there's definitely some interesting descriptive words
Of,
that
like,
she
there's
uses.
Yeah, there's interesting descriptions of how you can describe someone as feeling sick.
Yeah. But I'm glad we got all of it.
Yes. Or that, like, anytime there's any minor inconvenience, it's like, and they threw up on the floor. Aelin threw up. Feyre threw up.
Yeah, it's like,
Like, okay. Nesta threw up. I'm like, well.
yeah, a lot of puking.
I don't remember
that.
Bryce ever throwing up in
Probably
Crescent
did.
City. That's
I-
the female character in Crescent City.
I think maybe a little bit here
Did,
and there.
did she
Oh.
at least have watery bowels?
I don't
no,
think so. No, I think we're
No?
good. I think you're safe.
I
We're
think it
safe.
was a different descriptor.
Probably.
I
But
don't
yeah.
remember.
Anyway,
Okay.
is there anything else we want to discuss about these
No,
books?
I feel like there's so much more to talk about, but we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Maybe
Part
like a part
2.
2, like couple episodes
All right,
down the
I'll
line.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
come
kinda
back
like
to
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
We'll look at the comments, see the questions that people
Yes.
want
Right.
us to answer.
Right.
Yes.
I still didn't answer if I want a continuation.
I
don't
neither.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want both.
I
Give
want
me
both.
both.
Give me all of the books. Sarah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Sarah, just like tell us everything.
Yeah,
tell us
give
all
us
your
the- your
books.
shit,
Give
give
us
us the
all
tea.
these books.
Let the
Get the
cereal.
Sorrel. Lucky Charms.
What? Oh,
Or
cereal.
is- Yeah, cereal.
Oh, well. Okay.
Captain Crunch.
Thank you guys so much for watching episode 2 of Bookish Babble and talking about ACOTAR. I feel like there's so much more to talk about with this series.
You like playing
We-
footsies with me.
We would love if you guys could leave comments below asking us more questions about it. Maybe we'll do a part 2 if there's enough questions to be asked.
Yeah.
And if anything else comes up, and especially if she writes another one and we
Well, then we'll have to.
we have to,
Yeah.
obviously.
This is technically an incomplete series.
Technically, yeah. So you definitely will see a part 2, maybe part 3, depending if there's a lot more questions.
Part
and
40.
part 40
Not
of the
that
Sarah
many.
J. Maas ACOTAR series. But again, please leave comments below. Please follow all of our social medias. We will have everything linked below. We appreciate you
Yes.
guys so much. And we hope to see you in the next episode.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.